Now, what we got here, Leon, is a righteous cow.
Well, if it's time to do the thing, we got to do the fucking thing.
These two guys in this movie, man. That was my Al Pacino, by the way. I know what.
Oh, dang, that was my Al Pacino too.
Really?
I guess one of us should have been doing DeNiro.
Yeah, I thought that was your DeNiro. I was like, that's the worst fucking DeNiro I ever heard. But hey, whatever. I'm going with it. I mean, I thought De Niro was more like, hey, man. But then I realized that was 50 Cent.
Yeah, that's no. If you can't understand what somebody's saying, it's 50 Cent. You got to call him 50 Cent because a person named 50 Cent would actually know how to talk. But this good guy, we got mama's all that thing. You know what? 50 Cent is basically the black Boomhauer.
Oh, from
King of the Hill. Yeah,
because man, I don't know when that Negro named himself 50 Cent. I mean, I don't know if that's what because that's what they call him.
Right.
I mean, that's appropriate because that's what he told people. They're like, oh, he's talking slang. No, he can't talk.
Well, you know, some people don't even know it's him because he's credited in the movie as Curtis Jackson. It's like, man, he even beat The Rock. I mean, like, you know, even The Rock is still going by Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and he's a much better actor. Even just by the fact that you can understand what he's saying when he talks.
Yeah, The Rock is looking at. Look, we even call him The Rock.
I know.
The Rock is looking at the titles of the movie. He's like, damn, you can at least understand me when I tell you my name is Dwayne Johnson. You can hear that. You know, when Curtis Jackson comes up, no man, call me Curtis Jackson.
You know what? I bet he even named himself 50 Cent. Probably somebody else did just because they got tired of asking him what his name was and not hearing him.
What's your name, Fitty? Diddy. That's already taken. P. Diddy? No, Diddy, Fitty. But oh, fuck it, man. Whatever. No, man. In this movie, I gotta tell you, everybody's looking forward to this because it's the joining of two cinematic iconic legends.
Right. Al Pacino and Robert De Niro.
There you go.
Know, back together again for the first time.
Well, in a way, that's true.
Oh, I know. You know, Heat was the first time, and everybody's excited about them, you know, starring together in Heat, and yet they like have like a 30-second scene together.
Man, that was a rip.
It was a rip.
I mean, it was pretty much, seriously, it was pretty much those dudes in Heat. They said, oh, we got them. See, they were first in The Godfather together.
But not really together.
But they didn't share the same scene, but we got it right here. And what those two motherfuckers do, they sat like, you want some cream with your coffee? Oh, yeah, sure.
Hey, I gotta do what I gotta do.
They sat down and had a cup of coffee. I mean, these two dudes should have went down the street just capping people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, and
the thing that really sucked is you got all those terrible scenes with Al Pacino just chewing up scenery just to get to that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people out there like or even love Heat, but I just think that movie's not that good. I think it's got some really horrible dialogue.
It does. I'm with you there. That movie rolled off the reputation of having Robert De Niro and Al Pacino together, and all you did was see them sitting at a Starbucks, sitting up there. Sipping on a cappuccino.
Right.
You shooting anybody today?
You know, man. Hey, I got to do what I got to do. If I have to catch you, I'm going to do that. Hey, you do what you do. I got to do what I got to do.
Yeah, you one lump or two.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, how's your coffee? You know what you drink. You drink what you got to drink. You know, but so in this movie, we got them together through the whole film.
Yeah.
I mean,
buddies.
They are buddies. I mean,
inseparable. Somebody described it as there's no daylight between them. They're so close.
There is a scene where they woke up in the same bed together that was deleted. I swear.
Well, you know what? I kept thinking that because, you know, this is a thriller and it's going to have a twist ending. And I was like, man, it'd be just an awesome twist if it turned out these guys were actually in love and they were gay.
At the end of the movie should have been them spooning each other. Morning, sunshine. But man, but it's and you get what you kind of want from these guys. Really, they're pretty much. You practically expect them, like I said before, to go down the street smoking cigars, and popping a cap on anybody that walks by them. Shoot this guy, bam, boom.
That's true. All through the first half of this movie, they were just like a bunch of crusty old ass cops who didn't give a shit what they said to people and what happened, and they just I mean, you do think they just kill you and then have a big laugh about it. And you know, this is one of those movies. Like, this is one of those cop movies I love where they're not afraid to show that cops are assholes.
Oh, yeah.
And break the law themselves all the time and don't think twice about it.
Oh, yeah. You expect them to go down the street arm in arm. Homeless guy come up. They may got a dollar. And Al Pacino just pull out a gun. Bam! We're fucking legends. We do whatever we want to do, goddammit. But I have to say, man, today, and this is not anything against the movie itself. I'm going to take this movie for what it is and forget that this is Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. You got to take the movie for what it is, because people don't buy into this whole hype that, oh, look, we got these two legends together, because it is a different business, Hollywood.
Right.
It is not the same thing.
Well, back at the time when they were in their prime, the Hollywood movies they were in, they were really like art movies. Like, somebody was really trying to make, hey, sure, they want to do a commercial piece of cinema, something that's fun, make money, but they were more in creating a piece of art.
Yeah.
Something that would stand the test of time. Now, like you say, it's all about a business. It's getting asses in the seats and racking up numbers for the weekend. That's what, you know.
I never thought about that. I mean, you're right. The 70s was their heyday, because that's when they made the real gritty shit.
Yeah.
And now today, they just, I mean, as you said, I mean, everything is so structured now and so carefully manufactured.
It is. And we've also reached a point where this movie is a thriller. So which means, you know, by thriller, I mean there's killing and there's a surprise ending. You know, there's a murderer. You think you know who it is, but maybe not. And they're going to try to surprise you at the end. And we've seen enough of these that, you know, it almost takes the fun out of it, because even if you're not good at guessing who the killer is in these things, you can't help but like spend the second half of any one of these movies trying to figure out who it is.
Because you know, out of all the people that you've seen, it's not going to be somebody who just pops up that you haven't seen yet. It's going to be one of these characters who you follow through the whole movie.
Yeah. And, you know, and I thought they had it going pretty well for a while, but I feel like they dropped a few too many clues. So when it gets revealed, I was kind of like, yeah, I kind of saw that coming.
Even when you're surprised, because I didn't really see it coming, what was coming at the end. I didn't really see it coming, but it felt like, I mean, today they try to make, they really try to just force these surprises in so much, where I thought like, okay, I didn't see it coming, but it don't feel real.
Well, I'll put it this way. Like, I think back to that movie, whatever, I can't remember what the name of it was, with Halle Berry and Bruce Willis, where they made an ending. You couldn't guess the end because it was so preposterous. And I could tell, like, you know what, y'all shot
Perfect Stranger?
That's it. And this wasn't one of those where, like, they crowbar in like a completely ridiculous ending. But I got the feeling like by the time it gets toward the end, it's like it comes down to like really 5 suspects.
Yeah.
And I feel like they probably could have shot an ending with at least 2 or 3 more of these guys ready to go. And then just decide, okay, this is the one that we want to go with.
Yeah. See, that's the kind of movie that this is. Yeah. I mean, this could have been anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been the guy that they bought gum from at the 7-Eleven stand. I mean, I mean, it could have been anyone. Anybody could have been. They could have wrote this in a way where the path could have gone to any one of these people. It just doesn't feel like all the clues are the circumstances of this film led up to a concrete conclusion.
Right. Now, barring that, I would say it was fun to get there, because as much as I thought it was going to be like a lot of, you know, macho tough guy posturing like in Heat, these guys actually have some pretty funny dialogue back and forth. I mean, they hardcore. You know, like I said, they don't give a shit about anybody's feelings, and they say some things that are pretty outrageous and funny.
Yeah. I mean, these are two guys who, I mean, they're veterans.
Yeah.
And I think it's safe to say, I know Robert De Niro is, but I think Al Pacino, they're both native New Yorkers too.
Right.
And so, I mean, these are two guys who they're hanging out in their territory. They can go down the street and do whatever the hell they want to do. I mean, these guys are having so much fun together, and the movie relies on the chemistry. Yeah. I mean, they could go down the street and kick a dog, and you'd be like, hey, that's De Niro and Pacino, those funny guys. Yeah. They'll get a medal for that.
Well, it's funny because we talk about old Hollywood, like, you know, these guys are recognized for being just like, you know, the cream of the crop.